The patient journey, I'm not going to spend too long about this. Back in the 80s, for any of us old enough, it was all snake oil salesmen and roll up, you know, buy this. Today it's all about having consumer advocates for your business, people that will only ever come to you because how you make them feel, the results you deliver. They won't go elsewhere. They won't be, you know, distracted by shiny new practitioner syndrome. So your patient's journey is your marketing in every area that they're looking. So people will do their, you know, they'll look in the mirror, they'll realise, you know, and it can, according to Allergan research that came out last summer, that journey they go on, asking their friends, going online, looking at reviews, that can take up to 10 years for some people to make that journey and pick up the phone. You need to shorten that journey ethically with the right marketing, educational marketing. When they're evaluating the alternative, when they're doing their information search, are you everywhere that your patients are spending time? So it used to be said it was about 7 different touch points that people would need. All right, I've seen you on Facebook, I've walked past your clinic, your friends told me about you. They're now, you're suddenly now on their radar 7 times. That can be as many as 14, 15 different times now, because we're all busy and we all just delete or ignore marketing messages, don't we, until we're ready to buy something. Yeah, if you bought a new car, one minute you didn't see it anywhere, next minute that model's everywhere because it's in your reality. So are you spending time, or your patients are spending time when they're weighing up the alternatives? Are you standing out from the crowd? So is your what clinic profile better than everyone else's? Is your consulting room profile better than everyone else's? Have you got lots of patient reviews, testimonials? If you haven't, at least get some. Hold a model marketing day. Say that in exchange for free, you have to do them ethically free, if you're a doctor particularly, or half price treatments or whatever. People sign here, video testimonial, before and afters, reviews, in exchange for this. They sign to say that they are going to do that, and you manage that process. Get them, we're going to talk about reviews later, but get them to do reviews. If you've got plenty on Facebook, you now need them on Google+. And I'm going to show you what that means. So, what about you? We're all consumers. When we're doing information searches for restaurants, hotels, holidays, we're all addicted to our phones. We go online, we ask people, we look for recommendations, we go to TripAdvisor. Your patients are doing the same. And, you know, if you think about all of our habits on a phone, how many times we pick up our phone every day, the flitting that we do, that's quite hard to catch somebody's attention with your marketing when they're flitting. You're going to Facebook, then you're going to BBC News, and they're looking at this, looking at that, yeah? You've got to try and capture their attention. So you can do that in a number of ways. Who's been followed around the internet by? You went online, you looked at a pair of shoes, next minute that advert's followed you. Who's been followed around the internet by me? Yay! Well done, Adam. So that's called remarketing. We can teach you how to do that. And you can even do that if your client, your prospective patients go to your competitor's website, you can follow them from there. So we've all got an explosion of choice. I'm going to whiz through these things. People are overwhelmed. They think they know. They've got too much information, too many TV shows. Yeah, but obviously your job is more and more difficult, because people, they come in, don't they, and they say, oh, I'll tell you your job. But it's multiple touch points, online and offline. So yes, we're going to focus a lot on digital marketing, but there is no substitution for getting out there and getting known in your local area. We all hate the thought of networking. My article in the Journal of Aesthetic Nursing next month is all about networking, but I'm not talking, you know, you don't have to sit at these events and go, oh, hi, my name's so-and-so, but it's about getting to know your local area. Who are the movers and shakers in your local area? Who can bring a steady flow of people to you? There's always one mum at that private school that knows everyone. You've got to get in with her, yeah? So online and offline, where can you be found? How can you cut through the noise? Because we're all inundated with the noise. The buying public, there's only 3% that are ready to buy now, and most people's marketing is aimed at that 3%. We want to move, not necessarily that bottom 30%, but certainly that 67%, we want to move them up to the buy now, don't we? Yeah? So attract new patients, it's called attraction marketing for a reason. This is not, as I call it, verbal vomiting on people. We do this, we do that. But, you know, we're the best. Attract them to you, and I'm going to show you what that means. So, we talked about Apple, the perfect example of attraction marketing. People walk in, they know what they want. They'll queue overnight to get the latest thing. They build the hype. They don't just go, oh, the iPhone's ready now, it's here, buy it. Do they? It's all about the build-up. They're following a very specific process. The process that you all followed to be here today was a very specific process. So Glastonbury, they don't just go, here's the headlines, buy a ticket. All about the build-up, the registration, yeah, the anticipation. Blockbuster film, all about the build-up. Yeah, so it's attraction marketing. So is your business like this with just one or two methods of marketing? Or is it like this and nice and stable? Now, the aim is, if you could try at least one new method a month, yeah, and then by the end of this year, by the end of that time, you go, right, we tried 7 new ones or whatever. Out of those 7, 4 worked really well, 3 didn't. We're going to focus on those 4. So how many methods have you got? Count up how many methods you know you do out of all those.
Well,
yeah. So we haven't got time to do a group exercise, you'll be pleased to know. So I won't make you feel bad. Most people just Facebook and website and referrals, the usual ones. Yeah. So we're going to talk about some of these anyway. So what's the best way for you? There's 2 ways of growing a business. You can either do it the slow, low-cost way, which is social media, content marketing, getting out there in your local area, sharing your knowledge, attraction marketing, giving nice things away that not treatments, but that people, you know, showcasing your knowledge, and then people come to you, you're attracting them to you, you're not just at them, yeah? Or you can do it the quicker way where you pay for Google ads, Facebook ads, that remarketing thing that we follow you around with. Yeah. So what's best for you? So the slower way, content marketing, blogging, writing, word of mouth, speaking. This is literally everything that I did to build my business. Yeah. The slower, organic way. You can do things. Obviously, we do a lot of this now. Of course we do. Facebook ads. Not Google. We don't do Google ads, but it's relevant for some of you. We'll talk about that a little bit. Print media, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Remarketing, YouTube advertising, radio and TV. I'm going to talk about the difference with all of those. But basically, have a look at all of those and think about which one you're doing. Basically, marketing's simple. It's just finding out what people want and then giving it to them. But actually, the number of strategies available can be quite complex and overwhelming. Would you agree? You don't know where to focus your time. Yeah? So the biggest mistake a lot of people do is to actually say, oh, this is what I think people want. Like I said earlier, it's about finding out what they want and then going to give it to them. So marketing success, the right message, the right person at the right time through the right channel. A lot of ducks have to be lined up to get, don't you agree? Yeah? So 2 types of advertising. We've got your traditional advertising, so your print media or radio or versus online, your Facebook, your Google, your remarketing. So traditional ads, basically you pay up front, don't you? Somebody says, well, we've got 1 space left in our newspaper, I'm just holding it just for you. Yeah, but they want you to pay up front. You don't know whether it's going to work, you've probably wasted a lot of money, we've all done it, but basically during your campaign you can't change that, can you? It's out there, it's done. You don't know if the phone's going to ring, you sat there waiting it. You'll either get inquiries or you won't. You can't influence those results. Yeah, so this is traditional advertising. You're throwing mud at the walls, hoping it might stick. It's not targeted. You don't know if people are going to pick up that publication, if they're going to hear you on the radio, drive past that billboard. There was a guy I spoke to before he started working with me, over 30 grand he spent chucking mud at the walls, hoping it would stick in all these different places, and none of it stuck because it wasn't targeted. So the joys of the internet means that you can be more targeted. So ultimately, traditional marketing, advertising, is out of your hands. Would you agree? You try something, you spend some money, you don't know if it's going to work. Online advertising means that you won't necessarily pay up front. You can actually pay as you go. So you can actually set that campaign to either say per click, or for the lifetime of the campaign, or for the week, or whatever. But the key thing is you can change the rules during the game. So you could run something for a week, just spend 20 quid, you know, just a little bit of amount. See if it worked. If it didn't, why not? Change one thing. Did that work? No. Change it from an image to a video. Ah, that worked. Right. You know, you can't do that in print media. Does that make sense? But you can do that in online advertising. So your ad is placed in front of your target market, and when they see it in their newsfeed or when they go online, that's an impression, but it's only if you click on it that you pay. Perfect. So if you think about it, your success is based on making that advert relevant to that target market. Yeah? That makes sense. So the more you know about your target market, the more relevant your advert is, the more you'll be rewarded by more people seeing it. Because what they'll do, basically, they'll give you a fair shot. They'll show 500 impressions, roughly, 500 people to see it. But if no one's clicking on it, you'll then drop down in their priority list. Obviously, this is all automated. And then your competitors, if their advert's better and it's more relevant and more people click on it, yeah, then they'll show it to more people, and they'll reward you by reducing the price. Didn't happen 12 years ago when Facebook, Google, YouTube, remarketing.
So that's when they ask you if you want to buy an ad or something like that.
Yeah, so it's we're going to show you how to create ads a little bit about that this afternoon. But yeah, this is not just boosting a post from your phone. This is not targeted. This is about going online, going into the ad manager and setting up an advert, targeting specific people in a specific area based on what they like, and yeah, not just boosting a post. You won't get the targeting if you just do that directly from your phone. It's better to go behind the scenes. It's more targeted. Basically, on Facebook, they want you to spend money. So if you got 1,000 likes and only 5 people see them, that's quite normal. They're a media company, they want you to spend money, but they want you to be relevant. Google want you to be relevant. They want you to know your target market so you can advertise appropriately. That makes sense. And they will reward you. The more you know your target audience, the less you pay, which is really unusual. So basically, your cost could go down. I mean, these are just examples. You could pay £1 per click and it might reduce right down if your advert is targeted. They want you to be relevant. So when you're successful with online marketing, then you're going to be really wary about when people say, oh, if you pay £5,000 to advertise in this glossy magazine and you don't even know if it's going to work. Yeah, you'll be very wary about upfront advertising. If you are going to do print media, there is a place where it can work, but spend small, test small, measure, fail, improve, Just literally put a little code on it so you can track the results. And you know that they've come from that publication. So there's 2 types of patients, those who are new and those who are looking for an alternative. So is your marketing talking to both? So if you're attracting different types of people, is your marketing giving people what they want or what they need? So think like a patient, like I said earlier, step into their shoes. You can't use things like, if you've just recently divorced, come and have our treatment, obviously. But you can do it in the right sort of emotive way. So you need to understand your target market well, otherwise you'll waste money. So basically, who are you looking to attract? Have you done any of this analysis? I'm not saying do this now, this is a home exercise. Look at who you attract already, and if you want to get more of them, find more of them. Who are they? What are their expectations? What are their drivers? What makes them do what they do? What makes them pick up their phone? Have you answered all the queries online in terms of, frequently asked questions, or do people ring you and ask the same thing? Is there anything you can do to kind of minimize those type of calls? So who are you looking to attract based on all their demographics? The more you know about this, psychographics are things like values, buying conditions, the more you can find people just like them. So we talked about this earlier. This is what you need to find out, where they hang out, so you can put your marketing in those places, so you can find them and they can see you, and you can use your marketing to cut through that noise. So emotional messaging, obviously in our industry we have to be careful. We can't say if you've just had a divorce, come and have a treatment and make you feel better. You can't do that. We're going to talk about advertising rules at the end, but you can get your patients to say in their video testimonial, this is how so-and-so made me feel better. You know, this is what they did and this is why I chose them. Get them to do that selling for you. So if you think about it, most people spend time thinking about their problems, not solutions. Yeah, so your marketing has to help people find the solution to their problem. So enter the conversation that's going on in their head already. Don't try and start a new conversation. You know, if they're worried about those lines and wrinkles or that extra bit of, you know, enter that conversation. I'm going to show you what that means in a second. But you're talking to them in a way that matters to them. The more you can subconsciously get people to say yes, oh yes, I'm fed up with that, yes, I'd like that, oh yes, I would like an experienced practitioner who, you know, works with me and builds that relationship. Yeah, the more you can subconsciously do that, the more chance that people will go, oh, right, I'm going to pick up the phone to them, rather than we do this, we do that, we're the best. That's incontinence marketing. We. Yeah, don't do that. It's about the patient, not about you. So, avoid phrases such as tummy tucks, looking younger, turning back the clock. It's about, as we know, obviously, combination treatments, aging well. Not everybody wants to look like a celebrity, but certain people do. So use the right messaging. This is the principle to follow. So use the headline to attract their attention, A. Something to stimulate their interest and their desire. So, you know, this is obviously the benefits of what this treatment is and how the results, yeah? And then A for action. So tell them how to take action, what your little code is going to be so you can track the results. Mention this publication to get your free facial if you spend £300 or more, whatever it might be, yeah? Make sure you can track it. If your marketing's not working for you, this is probably why you're just going, we do this. Did you know that? That's probably a better way of putting it. But actually, are you fed up with that? Would you like some more, you know? Yeah, does that make sense? So, social proof. I touched upon that earlier. The more people, when they're looking online, and you're trying to cut through that noise and get their attention, if they see people who are just like them, video testimonials, before and afters, your real ones. Obviously, if you're a doctor, you've got to be very careful about using before and afters. None of us can use them in actual Facebook ads, but you can use them as a post on your page to educate. And obviously, as long as you sell the consultation. People need to see people just like them. So there was a really good book written by Professor Cialdini, this book called Influence, about why people buy. So he originally wrote it as a warning against salespeople. You know, we follow this urgency and scarcity one all the time. Oh, there's only one place left. You've got to take that you know, that newspaper. I've done a discount just for you, but there's only one left. You've got to let me know by 5 o'clock today. Yeah, those are classic ones that we all fall for. Who's got FOMO, fear of missing out? Yeah, I fall for it every time. We all fall for them. But you can use these ethically in your marketing. So social proof is a big one that you must use. So it's proving to others that it's okay to have these treatments. So people see people just like them, because we all look for, if we're uncertain about something, we follow the crowd, don't we? Yeah, or unless we specifically don't follow the crowd, then we just won't. But most people, if they're uncertain, they'll ask their friends, they'll look online. If they see lots of reviews, they'll think, oh, they must be good. They've got loads of good reviews, must be all right. Otherwise, they need that reassurance, and they don't need you to be constantly selling to them. They need that reassurance globally that it's okay to have treatments, the number of treatments are growing, locally that it's okay within the clinic. I mean, if you think about, we all do social proof. 2 restaurants, one's really busy with a big queue, one's dead, no one there. Now, unless we're really hungry, we all want to know what's going on in the busy restaurant, don't we? Yeah, we all follow the crowd. and this is what your patients will be doing, but they need to see people who are just like them. So, global social proof, share. If you're not sure what to share when you do your blogs and things, share what's going on in the industry. Share that it's okay to have treatments. Every team member, walking, talking adverts, video testimonials, business events, local events, talked about that. Show that it's okay, it's normal to have treatments. Get them to come to your clinic, do a lunch and learn. You know, get people, if you've got loads of people that need to look good in your area, retail staff or beauty people or, you know, hairdressers, air stewards, stewardesses, get them to come to your clinic and show them, educate them. Dr. Leah does it at her clinic in London. She holds lots of educational events. So contact the local press and media, find out if you can actually write, you know, a regular column, or you can be on a radio programme and showcase your expertise, get people ringing in. My lady in Ireland, she did that for years on local radio. So when she was on TV, good job she did do that, because she was really ready. She did have some media training. But anyway, what can you do to get out there? So your website, is it attracting a steady stream of patients? Is it making the phone ring? Or is it a bit like that? So the big difference between somebody that will make your website look pretty and somebody that will bring traffic to it, very different things. So if you've abdicated your website or outsourced it and it's not making the phone ring, perhaps it was just a designer that made it look pretty. They didn't know how to develop it to get traffic. So does it look the same as everybody else's? Same old stock images, blue and white? Or is it unique? Has it got some stuff on about you and about what you do for the patients? So when people see it for the first time, a lot of things will be running through their head. You've got less than 8 seconds, probably on average 3 or 4 seconds. You know what we're like, we're all the same, aren't we? We'll be zooming around, oh yeah, oh God, that's slow to load, I'm off. Yeah, you haven't got long to capture their attention. So, does it pass the 8-second rule? Now, I say regularly updated, but what Google do, other search engines are available, but Google have got these robots, yeah, and what they do, they look on your website. Any updates today? No, come back tomorrow. Any updates tomorrow? No, come back next week. Any updates next week? No, come back next month. They need relevant new updates, content. They need to show, you need to show that you're being useful and helpful to their searchers. The more you are, the more they'll help you rank without necessarily paying for AdWords. Does that make sense? Yeah? So even if you just put one thing on there, one little change, they will see, oh yeah, great. And if it's linked to social media and everything like that, they put a blog on there, a blog that can be indexed and found. So I'm going to talk more about blogging later. So your website should have a strong, compelling headline or question. So, you know, are you looking for results-driven treatments with an experienced practitioner in Liverpool? Great, you're in the right place. My name's Dr. So-and-so, welcome. Not just, hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so, we've got a clinic in Liverpool that does this. You see what I mean? Yeah? So, focused, benefit-driven, lots of engaging videos and social proof. Even though I'm saying it's not about you, it's about the patient, but the patient still needs to see the real you. If your website talks about we do this, we do that, but it's only you, yeah, and you're not to be found anywhere, and it says our nurse does this and our nurse does that, it's not a real representation of you. Now, don't get me wrong, we all did it. When I first had my website years ago, I did we do this, we do that, because I wanted to make myself sound bigger. So, but people bond with real people. They don't bond with stock images and images and logos. They bond with real people. So get that across. Better to do it in a video if you can.
So I've done exactly that. I've put we, but there's only me.
Yeah.
So changed.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be real. People buy from real businesses, don't they? They don't buy, you know, they need to know that it is just you, and that's fine. You think, because it's, you can to your advantage then and say, you will only ever see me. You won't be pushed around from pillar to post. Yeah? If you work out of home, great. Nice and discreet, nice and private, no one needs to know. Just use all the things that you think are negative and turn them into positives. So, is your your website mobile compatible, not just mobile friendly. So it should adapt, whether you're on a phone, a tablet, whatever, it should change. Should be a different website because it should be a mobile compatible one. You shouldn't have to zoom in and out. Now we're getting a new one done because ours is just friendly. Google takes it very seriously, and it will drop websites down the ranking if you don't get it compatible. So about 50% of online searches are carried out using a phone. You can check that with your Google Analytics. Who actually checks their Google Analytics? Who knows what people are looking on when they go on their website? You can check all of that. You can check whether it's Apple, Android, you can check everything. You can check your bounce rate. If people are going on your website and going straight off, why? You should do as much as you can to draw people back to your website. So, homework checklist. Are you hiding behind your logo? Are you being human, you know? Are you saying we do this, we do that? Are you using marketing to be educational and build relationships, not just to sell? People don't want to be just sold at. And does your website look the same as everybody else's? And are you using direct response marketing, not just throwing mud at the walls hoping it sticks? That makes sense? Yeah? With a clear call to action every time. Call now, book here, at the top of every page. Book your consultation, free consultation, and click to call number. Make it easy for people to do business with you. So just make sure your phone's answered. Patient promise. You know, we said about standing out from the crowd. Sorry, you can't see those very well, but River Aesthetics, client in South Africa, Medisculpt, Pradnia down in Exeter, Skin Southwest, they've all created patient promises. You know, I said about that booklet earlier, what you stand for, what you believe in. What is your promise? So if you can't differentiate based on your treatments, you don't want to price differentiate, good. This could be your promise about your service, your standards, yeah, your patient promise. So don't just say we provide great service. Sorry, that's what everybody says. Patients need beyond more than average, don't they? So for your business to stand out from the crowd, you've got to stand out first. So create your promise. Make it as friendly, personal, as as welcoming as possible. And if you've been in business for 10 years, don't just say we've been in business for 10 years, but what that means to that patient. Does that make sense? So web traffic then, driving traffic to your website. There's old Einstein again. There's a formula that should drive everything you do online, because you need traffic to your website, but you need people to pick up the phone. So traffic conversion, you need that website to be doing the selling for you. So if you have 100 visitors to your website, but actually only 10 of them pick up the phone, so you've looked at Google Analytics and you've tracked, this month we had 10 new inquiries, yeah? But you actually did more to make your website look really appealing, so you got more new visitors. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. And you increased your conversion because you made it easier for people to do business with you. You answered your phone quicker, you got a static response or someone to do it for you. You did a better job at selling over the phone to get people through the door. You sold the consultation, yeah, and you converted more. Your sales will go from 10 to 22. Which is obviously over 100% increase. So the reason I give you lots of little examples like this is just to look at the reason I talk about measuring. Yeah, so you need to know what happens. So here's an example. If you actually increase visitors by 50% and your conversion by 50%, you're going to double your online sales. So if you're selling, who's selling skincare online? Anyone? No, won't talk about that then. But keep doing this, keep looking at your website and keep finding out what else you can do to improve it. So you need multiple methods of traffic. How many have you got? So how many ways is it from Facebook? Are you saying, so you're doing a post on your page or a Facebook ad, is that ad taking them to that relevant page on your website? Yeah, or is it just taking them to the home page? People will go if they need to find what you're talking about, yeah? Are you having other ways of getting people to your website? From Facebook, you can ask your developer to put a little pixel, a little tracking thing on your website, so that people go from Facebook to your website. Then you can actually then market to them back on Facebook, and you can follow them around the internet. Don't worry about that for now. So ask your website developer about a little Facebook pixel that you can track visitors to your website, so you can start to work out where they're coming from. So how many free methods do you use? So if your free method could be your blog, or it could be your newsletter, and it could be your click here to learn more, go to my website. The more Google see people are visiting your website, they'll know, and the longer people stay on your website, the more they'll help you rank. Does that make sense? Yeah? So how many have you got, and how many more could you implement? So Google AdWords, banner ads, Facebook ads, social media, other platform, you know, we talked about Facebook, but Instagram, are you linking those to your website? Lead magnets, that's giving something away, like a skincare guide, so that people go, oh, I want that, here's my name and address. Yeah, and they come to your website, like you all did when you came to my website to download my 9 strategies guide. Yeah? Articles, blogs, obviously offline marketing as well. You could have an advert in those little booklets that get delivered to people's doors. They can work really well. River Aesthetics really grew their client base in their local area in the New Forest by doing a monthly, or no, it was bi-monthly, I think. Just a little, you know, not expensive, but educational marketing every month. Every other month in the publication. But they also did website weekly educational newsletters. This is what we're doing, this is why we're going to that conference, it's to help our skills get better so we can serve you better. Yeah, so showing a bit of your life, not showing any alcohol and things, but just a little bit of you, so that people are engaged with you and your journey, your story. So how many more could you implement to get more traffic to your website and get your website to do the selling for you?